So we really need to approach in a different way this market. The digital market was focused on age of digital, was all about channel optimization, and from the content management system point of view, or web content management system point of view, uh, that was enough for digital marketing. But now it's about experience marketing when actually the age of the customer has started. And it's all about personalization. It's all about data, big data driven. And in the end, we need to anticipate the customer needs. So having this in mind, identify a key priorities for a customer experience platform. And I would like to go one by one to discuss about this. So the first one, it will be easy to use. You shouldn't be in a place where you are constantly relying on deep technical skills to perform everyday administration tasks. This kind of adding a new video or adding a new page should be something that can be easily done by a non-technical person. And this is something that Sitecore does very well. Okay, what about the real-time personalization? Well, reacting is good, but what we actually need to do is to guide our client to the result that we expect. So we need to customize each interaction based on context and what we know about the visitor profile, which of course can change over time. And we need to adapt to this each individual prospect and customer. What else is important is to have a single view of the customer, because enable a single view of the customer data and insight will provide you a truth about who our customers are, how their behaviors are changing over the time. It's a key element. The next one will be search engine optimization. So on search engine optimization, there are a few aspects that needs to be respected in order to get results. And Sitecore can help to achieve this very easily. This is not new stuff, it's what search engine optimization means, having a URL that is standalone, having each page that will contain 2 or 3 paragraphs, primary keywords that are used on page are competitive, are relevant. So all these kind of things can be very easily achieved in Sitecore. I'll move to the next key element, which is email and automation. Because a content experience platform should provide an easy interface to email your customer by segment, and also will need to allow you for some out-of-the-box customer subscription. This is not something new, but it's something that it's very well implemented, and we can talk more if we have questions about this at the end of the session. The next one will be about multi-language and multicultural. And on this part of multi-language and multicultural, it's important to know that in Sitecore, a site can be managed in any number of culture. United States English, United Kingdom English. Every field on a template can be marked as unique to a specific language, or can be shared across all the language. Each language has own version history, and when it's implemented properly, a site will not require software change to support the new language. That's a very important aspect, because there are a lot of situations after we end the development phase, and we actually ask developers to do some monkey jobs. And this is something that we should address when we take the proper architecture in place and we have the proper tool. Okay, the next key item is the omni-channel support. Because a content experience platform should enable you to manage the content and view analytics across all the channels. Doesn't matter if it's email, if it's print, if it's mobile, they should be in the same spot. There are 6 disciplines of omni-channel marketing that that we use. And it's about customer and permission volume. It will be about data collection and integration, big data analytics, communication and services, and performance management, and of course, organization. The next one is social media support. And I guess it's important, and you know this better, that actually social marketing starts with recognizing that the balance of power between supplier and consumer has fundamentally changed toward the consumer, and there is no going back. People now have a voice online that amplifies across social networks. So Sitecore allows you to configure Facebook, Twitter, and other platform users to have the ability to log into experience and interact with their content. Um, Based on Sitecore Social powered by Confo, we have listen, we need actually to create, to distribute, to engage our customer, and we need to measure. And we need to do this again and again in order to improve our social media support. Of course, another very important aspect that we need to find in this kind of content experience, and it's essential if you build it mobile first, and I'm referring here to the customers. It should be managed for application or other third-party system accessible anywhere in the world, but we should be able to manage them in only one place. And Sitecore is a good place to manage this part. And actually was built with a mobile-first mentality to provide such ease of access. Okay, the next aspect, integrate with other third parties. Sure, there are 4 layers in Sitecore, each with a specified purpose. So we have APIs, which gives the developers low-level access to the system resources. We have the tools, which comprise the user interface available for business users. We have frameworks, which represent solution to business problems. And we have connectors, which implements frameworks using specific technology. Well, the next one is interesting because it's actually about how friendly, how developer-friendly Sitecore is. I would say the Sitecore is ASP.NET application-like. But this is something that Alex will show how developer-friendly is in a few minutes. Okay, the last key aspect, but a very important one, is the enterprise grade. So a busy web solution may serving content consume at 1 million requests a minute, and the content is mission critical. A content experience platform solution should be tested under stress and should be fault tolerant. And this doesn't happen with a lot of open source, to be honest. I like the open source, but the reality this doesn't happen. Sitecore architecture flexibility from supporting cloud deployments, web front-end, load balancing, scaled out solution. And now let's move to actually the bad and the ugly. What about the bad and ugly? Well, it's not so bad and it's not so ugly. It's about understanding the context, about the big picture. I never tell a client or a company that one technology or platform is better than another, but I do like to point out difference. Basically, it comes down to what you need to do it. So if you need an enterprise, and I'm bolding here, enterprise, don't go without an enterprise because the cost is huge. For an external content focus, choose Sitecore. If you need a marketing-driven platform, choose Sitecore. For a platform to customize the web user experience, choose Sitecore. But if you need, for example, an internal content which focus on the enterprise level security requirements, don't choose Sitecore. If you need a collaboration platform, don't choose Sitecore. If you need a driven platform, IT-driven platform, don't choose Sitecore. Well, as I said, it's about understanding the context and the big picture. And what I will do now, I will just start a very short video, like 2 minutes, and then we'll see the code. Okay, so Alex, is this already? Okay. So I'll need to use my microphone. Just a moment because we don't have the.
Oh, you need to be faced that way, so you play it.
Okay, play it. I can switch. Can you enable the speakers?
Yes, they are enabled. Mm-hmm. Trick. Yes.
I don't know exactly what it said, but I guess will help us to solve this issue.
It's okay now. It's
Okay. I will use this microphone.
The ideal user experience is personalized in real time based on preferences and unique engagement history. Sitecore enables you to provide a better user experience through both implicit personalization for anonymous visitors and explicit personalization as you get to know them better. The challenge of complex configurations, disconnected systems, and lengthy implementations has made success elusive. Sitecore's Customer Engagement Platform, or CEP, empowers business users and marketers to personalize with ease. The CEP features GeoIP lookup, easy visitor and content profiling, and marketing automation. The result is next-generation predictive personalization, all in real time. Let's experience this through the eyes of a typical site visitor for a global manufacturer of consumer vehicles, ranging from snowmobiles to motorcycles to bicycles. First, the website automatically surfaces content with the right language based on the location of the visitor. Next, it displays some hot products that sales history tells us might interest a first-time visitor, no matter what country they are from. Sitecore's intuitive tools help you implement personas on your web properties, and content editors can instantly apply persona profiles to any given piece of content right on the page with the easy personalization editor. These content values and persona cards are defined within Sitecore with a series of intuitive sliders and wizards to help us match our visitor to typical visitor paths and interests. As this visitor browses, our real-time insights into her persona continues to grow, such as the type of content she is looking for and her reason for visiting the site. Her actions indicate that this visitor fits the nature enthusiast persona already defined in Sitecore. Chances are she will be interested in mountain bikes more than motorcycles. By surfacing an offer that was successful in the past with visitors like her, we increase our likelihood of her completing a targeted action, like making a purchase. Often visitors like her are just looking and not quite ready to buy. However, something about our personalized content has piqued her interest. She's signed up for our cycling newsletter, indicating that she is an active prospect. Now we're in a better position to provide targeted outbound marketing. With Sitecore's email marketing tools, we can create and manage email nurture campaigns to communicate with this potential customer until she is ready to buy. Our first step is to initiate a predefined engagement plan, starting with a targeted newsletter promoting our new line of mountain bikes. From there, we can observe any web action she takes, continuing to nurture her as a prospect through triggered responses that sense and adapt to her behavior. Throughout this process, data collected on the visitor is conveniently stored within your CRM or other customer database, maintaining a record of every interaction. As she clicks where to buy on the mobile version of the email, we automatically alert the sales team at her nearest store. And when she arrives, the sales team is informed and ready to help her, providing a positive retail experience. Sitecore CEP remembers and builds on the interactions your company has with each person, handling the complexity behind the scenes while you focus on growing your business. Now,
Okay, but I guess this was a lot of talk, so as Linus Torvalds said, talk is cheap. Let's go.
well, Linus can wait a few slides until the demo. Let me just start this. Okay, for those who doesn't know me, my name is Aleksandar. I work at Endava as a .NET developer. I'm struggling with Sitecore for the past 8 months, and I think it's still a battle that is to be win. Um, let's see what we have uh, under the hood of Sitecore. Is this working or not? So there is a magic under the hood of Sitecore. Technology landscape. What have inside of Sitecore platform? You have the two installation MVC. Sorry, can you hear me? MVC and web forms. We have MongoDB. We have SQLDB. We have .NET platform. We have Lucene and Azure Active Directory. And I'm not so sure about SharePoint. Every Sitecore installation, it has at least three databases. Those three databases are core, master, and web. In core, Sitecore keeps all the settings. In master, keeps all the pages created, and when the content editor publishes them, he publishes to the web, and from there the end users can see the pages. You can have multiple targeting publishing places. This is a live server that is accessed by a CD1 and CD2 web server, and this is done with a load balancer. Next one, team development for Sitecore. So when I started working with Sitecore, they told me that I will work with databases. Oh no, I said no. But they said to me, don't worry, Alex, we have tools, plugins for you how to achieve this and to increase your developers' productivity. So, team development for Sitecore. This is developed by guys with a lot of free time and enthusiasm from a hedgehog development company. And we all use source control repositories. I will take, for example, TFS. And when we are doing on TFS some changes, we have files and we code on those files. But we don't have versioning on databases. So this tool takes the database items, data, and serialize them as an item that you can place it on TFS. And after that, your team member, the other developer, can take those items and put him in his database. So basically, this serves as versioning of the database. Sitecore, this is another tool. It's a Visual Studio plugin that helps you to increase, again, your developer productivity. With this tool, you create templates, items, everything. I want to define what's item. Item is everything that is done in a Sitecore and it's kept into the database. It has its own properties. Glass mapper. So we are working with databases and we have items. But still we are developers and we want to code. We don't want to deal with the database. And for that reason we have glass mapper. It's an object relational mapper that maps all the items from the database as a code and then we can use it. POCO objects. Another interesting thing that I have met in Sitecore that there is no traditional ASP.NET MVC rendering. Sitecore has its own MVC pipeline. Basically, it's a wrapper of the traditional one, and the traditional one start the request, identify the root, create the controller, evoke the action of the controller, fill the model, take it to the view, and that's it. Well, Sitecore make it different. You have start of the request, you have resolve by URL, transfer request to MVC pipelines, get the root rendering. If it's an ordinary MVC request, it will be done as an ordinary MVC request and through that pipeline. But if it's not, it will have rendering. In Sitecore, we have two types of renderings. We have view rendering and controller rendering. Controller rendering invokes a view, you fill the model and give it to the view. But view rendering creates his own inside controller and just render the view. So we have here decided what's to be rendered, either the view controller either the view rendering or the controller rendering. This is the decider, what he will do. This presentation will be posted afterwards so you can see it. What else? What's interesting? Sitecore pipeline and processor. Sitecore pipeline is a XML document that defines a lot of processors that are executed in order, and those processors are represented by .NET class. Every class has his or her method, sorry, and altogether they define some function. What tools do we use? Currently on the in Endava we work on a project, and currently we are using Visual Studio for developing, Sitecore Rocks for doing templates, TFS for versioning the source control. For deploy we are using Atlassian Bamboo. What else? What else? No. Hedgehog development and Sitecore Instance Manager. This is used for installing the instance. And this is the one we deploy on Windows Azure. So we are using virtual machines in order to deploy our solution to Windows Azure. Nugget? Yeah, Nugget. There is a marketplace for Sitecore. Here you can download modules. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, some of them are open source. You can develop your own module, put it on the marketplace and download it, or you can find some other module that you will use. Also, the community is already built because this is an older product, and we have a lot of developers, a lot of articles, news at the community site. So, Linus, now we can show the demo. I have prepared a small website. No, we are not hosting it. We are using something that we are not supposed to use, and also we cannot provide the demo because it uses license. So as a freelance, you cannot download a Sitecore solution and install it. Yep. But the beautiful part, if you work for Endava, you will have a hands-on Sitecore. So basically, I copy the code campsite. I have made what I have made. The logo, I have made some pages, the news files, and I have placed us as speakers. Yep, yep. So what I want to show you that we can translate this. It's very easy for translation. I will show you how it's done in a content editing mode. If we click on some, we have page. We have search. Search is implemented with Lucene.net, Lucene for .NET. So we can see how quickly it is, not because it's on a local machine. And that's the site. I will log into the content editor, and I didn't open the solution. Our demo, Sitecore is a closed market, so as I said, you need to be in an organization that already develops Sitecore. So, sorry? You can ask for demo, but I have never asked for a demo. I don't know what you will receive in that package. It will last 3 months. You can ask for a demo, but I think you will have license for 3 months and that's it. It will expire. £40,000 for a company to buy a, a basic. Uh, I have read the forums and why Sitecore is expensive. There were two answers that was very interesting for me. The first answer was you have point A and you have point B, and you need to get from point A to point B. And you have two options, either to fly with a private jet or either to ride a bicycle. So with the both solutions options, you will get to point B, but with the private jet, you will get much more faster and much more comfortable. Or if you want in a formal answer, Sitecore is expensive because it's meeting all the requirements from the client. And as I said, if you work in an organization that already develops Sitecore solution, well, it's not the entire solution based on MongoDB. It's only the analytics part for Google. So entire solution is based on SQL Server, core, master, and web. MongoDB is used just for Google Analytics. Uh, does Sitecore will meet client requirements? We need first to find out the client requirements and then to present the Sitecore if it meet their needs. When other solutions. Yeah, yeah. Uh, what yearly? Yeah. I- Negotiation. I was bored one day. I didn't have too much to work at work, and I click on customer tab at Sitecore.net, and I wanted to see who are the customers who is using Sitecore, and I was scrolling and I want to find some interesting, and I was doing this view more results, view more results, view more results for 5 minutes, and I gave up. So you can imagine how many customers it has Sitecore. 4,100, I think. Does it have a plan to develop that? It's already built in, so you basically Sitecore doesn't take statistical reports and clusters. So doesn't put the customer in cluster and says this customer belongs to this group. It takes the single point view of customer. So it builds picture for you. So just for you, you saw it on the video. So you're interested in this, and that is done in programmatically way. you have personalization rules, you have a lot of things that you can build a picture for a customer and deliver the content on the website based on his needs. So basically, if some enterprise company is using Sitecore, when I log in, I will view one content, you will view another content. No, it's not going to be the same. Uh, the current project that we are working, it's based on students and applicants. So they are from different, how should I say, one is programmer, one is archaeology, one is learning history. And for that reason, we need to serve the content to each of them differently. But we need to do it on a single page and we need to do it on a single place to be easy for the content editors. Satisfied with this? Please evaluate me. Okay, let's proceed. I will use magnifier if it works. Yep, so we can see the solution. On the right side, I have a TDS. Okay. Okay, on the right side, I have a TDS solution from which I am gathering the items. I will show you one basic workflow. How do we use Sitecore Rocks and Sitecore TDS? So, did I open it? Yeah. I have a connection to a database, all three of them, and I will make one template. If you cannot see it, please let me know because here I can see. So add new template, code camp new template. Let's copy this name to use it later. It's added. So we are doing data section. We have title, text should be rich, multi-text, something like that, multi-line text, and I think it's enough. Save this, and we have a template. Template is basically a template that will be used to create a page where you will have a title, text, image, something like that. So we have created a template and it's located into the database, but we need to have it as a code so we can work on it to display it on the view. So if we go into the Team Explorer, Solution Explorer, and TDS, right click, get Sitecore items, from templates, user custom, select all children, get items, and here we have the item, what was called new template. So we have it as a file, we can check it to the TFS and the other developers. We have it as a file and the other developers can take it from the source control and check it to their database. But as I have configured this TDS to generate me classes from these items, I'm not sure. Yeah, so this is the CSS file. This will be the base namespace. I'm using these templates in order to create models for each of the templates. Now we will search for the generated class. Yeah, as you can see, now we have class. From the template, we have the text, we have the title, and we can create a view about this. But I will use now already prepared views. Let's say for a content page. Here is the view where I'm using the rendering model that Sitecore provides about that page. And if we go to the definition of this view model, we can see it inherits from content page and that the content page is generated class from the template. What else is interesting? I have mentioned the pipeline processors. I have used this. I needed to to use an action method from a controller through a traditional MVC, and I needed to register the route. So you can see just only process register, and it's registering the routes. What else? We show the view, the models, translation. I have done another pipeline processor, but I gave up. So I have done it in another way to show you language controller. We can see that I'm just taking the language, set it to a cookie, and afterwards in the rendering model, I'm just reading the cookie and give it to the rendering model to find the item that needs to be rendered in that language. So this is the language that I'm giving. I'm reading for cookie, and the model is filled with the appropriate item in that language. Now I want to show you how we create page in Sitecore. So I'm still logged in or not? Yeah, I'm still logged in, but I will log out just to show you. So this is the login panel. Sitecore, this is 8.1 version. It's in Metro style. Click on desktop, start button for content editor. So what kind of page we should add? Let's see. What I don't have? Gallery. I don't have gallery. So we will add gallery on this. Main pages, insert from template.
And these are the kind of action that a non-technical
Yeah.
user may.
So this will be done from a content editor. So we need to deliver this kind of functionality so he can add from template. What was gallery? It's a content will be menu. Also, I need a version in English, or sorry, in Macedonian. Show in menu, save it. For this page to be displayed, I need to give it controls. Also, another interesting part is the placeholders, the one that I'm writing now. So I don't need to worry where this page will be displayed. I have done it in the views, put it the placeholder, and that's the place where this page will be displayed. Main pages. What was gallery? Okay, let's cross our fingers and hope it will work. So this change that we made is still not visible for the end user. It's still into the master database. So the content editor can edit again, but to be visible to the end user, we need to publish. So we're going to publish this item. We're going to publish all of the version that we created, English and Macedonian. Thank you very much. And cross your fingers. It's there? Yeah. Gallery. And if we click here, we can see the English version, and we should see Macedonian without the title. I'm not sure what is the problem. I will see it later. Okay, what else? I mentioned we've seen the pipelines, the models, the controllers. I think basically I covered everything. So, questions. Shoot. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's not in the presentation. Sitecore has a dictionary. So you create an item there, and let's say what button label. You create. Why I'm not showing you that? It's supposed to be somewhere. System dictionary. Dictionary entry. Button label is not a valid name, but I will tell you theoretically. So I will insert button label. I will add the translation about button label, and after that in the view I will write just sitecore.translate.item with that key. That's it. I don't need to write how do we set those resource files, for example. We don't need to add them. So this is a built-in functionality. I just add the Macedonian and English version and just change the language context, and yeah, I have everything translated. I don't need to write translate this. For the content, for the buttons, I need to write translate this button. Should. We didn't have client from Arabic country.
Let's just open, for example, one of the clients that we can mention. Open Manchester United.
Oh yeah, you have there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So open anyone of these. Some of the clients you can mention, and you should have Arabic there. Just click.
To click it?
Yeah, click it. That's the format. It's all this. This was developed like 4 or 5 years ago. So they are able to deal this. They have built-in functionality. We didn't work on this module on the Arabic, but here is how it's there. And yeah, I guess the other list of the application you can show the other websites while they are asking questions. So you can have this without extra effort to implement stuff.
That's the fun stuff. You have, sorry. I have a lot of questions and doubts about why to be a Sitecore developer. Everything is done. You have users, you have login, you have translation, you have logs, audit logs, you have everything. You have Lucene, you have search, and what you're going to develop? You're just going to put templates there? Well, no. Customer comes with the different needs. He has ERP systems, CRM systems. He has everything that he has bought over the years, and he wants to be integrated in Sitecore. That's the fun part. The backend development, integrating with other system, communicating with other system. Currently on the project that we work in Skopje. So for this menu I didn't know that he has Arabic, sorry. It's integrated with ADFS servers on Azure, sorry, on O365 Microsoft servers for authentication. Those servers are point to the physical service to the client and reads from their Active Directory. Also, we retrieve data from their RISES portal. They have CRM portal, and we are doing a lot of backend work that is not shown to the client. Sorry.
From an older perspective, it's important drag and drop feature for the owners to create their
To create a page, you need to go to the site code tree, but to edit the page, it is drag and drop. Uh, I didn't do that from content page editing mode to see the page. But yeah, content editor can open and he will see the title, just click on the title, change the title, or he will see the placeholder, click add item, this item, and that's it. So for creating page, you need to use the tree. Okay? No. You will have a render, and each of the carousel items will be a separate item. And on the page, I will just point to those items, to the folder of those items. That point is, I will go on this page. I'm pointing to something here. So this is the data source for the carousel. So if I browse and I will say these are the carousel items, it will take the items and present them as carousel.
So you just set the queue, and it will take anything that you have there. It's even simpler. Yeah, they have an initial training on this part of Sitecore, but after they understand the concept behind, because the concept of item and so on, that will be very easily for the non-technical person to use the Sitecore. But yeah, there are some terminology that is specific to Sitecore, and they will need to know.
Shoot. Sorry? Yeah. That's the fun part also.
You can search the.
Please search the salaries. Uh, Also, that was one of the questions. If I work Sitecore, well, I will work. If I change the company, don't worry. How much is the salary? Don't worry. So, sorry? My colleagues will joke about this. They will eat me alive. I can mention the fact that I'm the only API server developer in Macedonia and one of the few Sitecore developers. They can raise hands here. They're in the audience. One is Talon, Naile, Monica, and that's all in Macedonia. Oh, sorry, Bovan. Yeah. Yeah, marketing does the. Yeah. Okay. The CMS I have worked are API server. Also, it's expensive. From developers' point of view, it's much more simpler. So everybody can learn it in 1 month, but doesn't offer too much options or something that is already built in or something like that. Nob Commerce is a targeted solution for online shop and doesn't have personalized content, as I mentioned, for the single view. Um, in Sitecore, you have Glass Mapper. So I don't want to speak about performance issues when you use an object relationship mapper, since Dapper beats everything. I don't know the structure of Glass Mapper, I don't know the structure of Entity Framework, but the Dapper is low level and beats everything. So I cannot speak about the performance. So as we mentioned, Sitecore meet all the requirements that you will have in mind. And I didn't want to do a comparison to other CMSs because I don't want to degrade them. We talk about this that we don't want to compare that. We just want to mention that there is another player in the game.
Just actually present Sitecore because we know that it's not present on the market. Let's just analyze together with the other options. Because Sitecore is not something that I'm using home because I cannot afford this kind of prices. I prefer a brand. But for this kind of solution, the reality is that it's very hard actually to compete because they have like 600 or 700 developers that are working on this.
As we established that there is no Sitecore developer, so we are searching for starters that they will have love to Sitecore, to CMS. We have been working. I don't want to speak in their name, but I think it's interesting the project that we are working on it. Shoot. Shoot. The period to learn. Well, okay. Uh, yeah, the first thing that you, yeah, everything. The process of learning Sitecore is tutorials. Someone already that knew Sitecore, so he can show it to you, and to have some real project to have some real task to do. So if you combine those three things, you will learn Sitecore. And also the ambition, if you want to learn at home or you don't want. Yeah. The documentation from Sitecore is as soon as you have the account and the license, it's everything open for you since the beginning of the century. Yeah, and you will find another tutorials or articles from other developers. Did I mention that we have gifts for the questions? So please give it to them. Those the two bags. So we have one power bank and one cup of. He's a former and yeah, but yeah. So if you have any additional questions, you can come to the counter of Enda. The other one, who was speaking? You want it? You have the cup. If you have additional questions, please come to the counter of Endawa and we will be there. Personal one. That's from Romania. That's from Romania. Yeah. Daniel is in Andava, Romania. I am in Andava, Skopje. We have Belgrade, Colombia, Bogota. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching us and listening to us.